Hmm. Yeah, that would help. That would help.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
We got faith in you, brother.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Well, just, just wait for the third one this morning, because when we start talking about that and about DJ and some other things and the way that I handle it, it's going to be a lot different than what it's been in the past. And we'll see. We'll see. Hmm. Yeah, Heather said she's watching the stream. She goes, Al's vaping.
All were winners in their prime. Then came Palmer, Player, Watson, Nicholas, till Sevy led the coup. Then Longer, Fowler,
Loud and clear.
Lyle, and Woosnam all came thundering through. Still Middlecoff and Burke and Stadler had their Sundays too. Like the one Ben Crenshaw showed us, even grown-up dreams come true. Augusta, sweet Augusta, on my mind. The dogwoods, human azaleas, nestled neath the Georgia pines. And when I see this earth for my last time, I'll have Augusta, sweet Augusta, on my mind. Larry Miles at Amen Corner, Clifford Roberts walk on water, Marco Mira's putt to win, Roberto DiVincenzo sin, Raymond Floyd goes wire to wire, Tiger sets the course on fire, Couples ball stays high and dry, Saracens 2 in 35. So sit me down in Butler's cabin, and I won't need to speak. Walk with me across Hogan's Bridge, baptize me in Ray's Creek. And thanks to these two dreamers for their setting so sublime. This place, these men, these memories weave a tapestry in time. Augusta, sweet Augusta, on my mind. The dogwoods, your azaleas, nestle neath those Georgia pines. And when I see this earth for my last time, I'll have Augusta, sweet Augusta, Augusta on my mind. I'll have Augusta, sweet Augusta on my mind. On my mind.
Everyone to the studio, please. Testing. Testing. Hello. Dr. Grind. Godfather. HR3. Come to the studio, please. It's time to go live.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Broadcasting from North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, this is TGD Today. And now please welcome Hero III,
HR3.
Al Cloyd,
Dr. Grind.
George Honeycutt,
The Godfather.
Hey, good golfing day to everyone. Welcome to TGD Today, and it's Tech Talk with Dr. Grind, Al Cloyd, and of course, Hugh Roy III and George Honeycutt. We're just here to change the tires and fill up the car.
That's right. No
So-
mercy for the weak. You're dumb, you better be tough, because the stupid will be punished.
Woo!
That's what Dad told me right before I left the house.
It's rolling them off of them today, isn't it?
He's rolling today.
Man.
Got a good night's sleep last night at the
Wow.
Holiday Inn
Wow.
Express.
The silver tongue came out today.
Rah. Rock and roll.
Wow. Hey, I got a question for you, dude.
Yes, sir.
We talk clubs and we talk all this stuff about golf and we get into it, and you know it's been interesting for many years. The pros, they got to play those fancy golf balls, and we sat there and watched the advertisements and the marketing ads and the print ads that came out in the papers or whatever, and play the ball the pros play and all this other stuff. And we thought, oh, great, good. I got to go buy that Balata ball. I'm going to go pay $7 a sleeve so I can lose them in the first 4 holes.
Yeah, the professional 90s and the professional 100s.
And you brought up those numbers.
Yeah.
What did 90 mean?
What
What did
did-
100 mean?
100
What does that mean?
Well, we always thought the 100 was for the big boys and the 90 was for the boys that weren't as big.
Before I got into the game, I didn't know if the 100 went 100 yards and the 90 went 90 yards, and that's all you could get out of it.
Yep. And then the 80, what's that about?
Oh, goodness. And do I need to play the 80?
That's right.
So, I've been sitting here, and now that I'm a club fitter, and now I do this and do that or whatever, and we follow this thing every day. I mean, it's sad, but golf's our life.
Oh, no doubt.
And what's wrong with us?
What's wrong with that? There's a lot worse things.
I missed my career calling.
There's a lot worse things out there, I promise you that.
Okay, so let's get into this, Al. I asked you the other day, I said, Al, explain to me compression
Yes, sir.
in a golf ball. Now, I did some research on my own because I didn't want to throw you into the fire here. So
Sounds good.
I kind of, I did some research on my own. And basically, I feel like compression is the amount of energy that's affected onto a golf ball by the face of a golf club. That's compression, if you want to look at the physics of it. The amount of energy that you impart onto the ball, that energy is then transferred into the ball, and the ball reacts by that amount of energy.
Okay.
So,
Hang
the
on.
harder ball.
Hang on.
Okay, go ahead.
Hang on.
All right.
You're trying to say that compression is based off of club head speed.
Compression is based off of the
what you
energy
just
that's
said.
impacted. No. Club head speed, I mean, if you've got a hard face surface club, it's going to have a different reaction than
All
a
right.
soft face
Do you
surface
remember?
club.
Do you remember the big? It looked like a tube, like a piece of pipe that had been cut, and it had a thing on the top that you could move, and you put a ball in it, and you pulled it, and it had a gauge on the end of it, and told you what the compression of the ball was.
No. I remember the tube that you could drop it.
No. This is where this is where I'm gonna disagree with you.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I'm just
And I
trying to
apologize for
define the
coughing. I'm
physics.
getting over this.
Yeah.
Physics
Yeah.
is a relationship between the club head hitting the ball. That would be club head speed, spin rate, velocity of the ball coming off, spin rate, or ball speed. Compression is based off of the golf ball itself.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You drop this ball, and my dad had one of these. It was the coolest thing in the world. Titleist had given it to him. You would take a ball, and there was a hole in this lever that went back and forth, and you dropped your ball into this tube, and it had the bars that came in and pushed against the ball, and there was a gauge on the end of it
Okay.
that gave you the compression.
Okay.
Excuse me. So that's compression.
Okay.
Is based off of the ball itself.
Okay.
Not the club head and the ball.
Okay.
Now, the thing that people don't understand is back when Balata was the ball, okay, softer, not like the balls today. Balls today, other than a few of the ones that they have changed for the higher handicappers and the women and whatnot, most balls that you buy at the top of the line, whether it's Bridgestone, Nike, TaylorMade, or Titleist, are all pretty much the same. But in the Balata ball days, you realize 100 compression Balata ball was 95,
Yeah. Yeah.
and a 90 compression ball was 85. But they rounded it up to make it sound better.
Right.
So the truth in what was told and what was actually there were two different animals.
But back then too, the argument wasn't compression. Remember how for a year and a half, 2.5 years, all of a sudden now it was how many dimples did it have?
Oh, you went to
That was the huge thing.
Oh yeah, the 384 to the 392.
Oh,
to-
and here comes the new one that's got 422.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
You know, I got to go get me a box of those.
But golf balls nowadays are all made so similar that they have had to change the core to give you the compression rates in which you're talking about. That's the difference that people don't
Well, they got
understand.
such new polymers, resin, things of that sort that comprise the outer layer, that comprises the inner layers, and then comprises the core.
And
So-
the beauty of it is golf balls don't go out of round now. Where they used to when it was a Balata ball, because it was wound inside you had the little inside ball that had fluid in it, was wrapped in rubber bands
About
for
the
the
size of a
compression.
marble. Yeah.
And it was, it was wrapped in rubber bands for the compression, and then you had the Balata cover.
Oh, and when microwaves came out, that was one of the neat things, was taking a golf ball, putting it in there, and nuking it,
If you wanted to die, yeah.
and then watching it explode.
Yeah.
You
it
know,
would.
that was the neat thing, and that's because of that quote unquote liquid center, and it just basically just acted like a
It
bomb.
would. Nowadays, it is golf balls have gone, and they swore it would never happen, but everything has gone to a solid core, and it's all based on how many covers they put around.
And we
them.
even saw the golf ball that had a metal core.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
And, and then they've
How
got
about that?
They've got balls that have double covers. They have balls that have single covers. They have thicker, thinner, and it's all based off of research. And then
But-
that's where you've got to be fitted.
But
for the golf
interesting,
ball.
several years ago, nobody cared about compression. Nobody talked about compression. We talked about, we had dimples, and then we talked about the design of the dimples. Then that became the hot thing. And then we talked about how many dimples within a certain area, which means that you're going to be impacting the ball on that area. So it's going to get a different. I mean, that was Max Fly's big thing.
Yep.
So then all of a sudden we went to, now we got yellow balls. And then we got pink balls coming out for ladies. And then we had the pink lady ball that came out, and everybody's going, wow, and then the men started figuring out, I need to send them a letter, email. We didn't have email then. I need to send them a letter. I want a white one of these balls so my bros don't see me playing a pink or a yellow one. But I want that same effect. I want to pick up that distance that, that these balls afford versus the high-end ball.
And a lot of that's
And
marketing.
why is that?
because the ball was actually softer.
It was less compression.
And it was easier for the average golfer to compress the ball to get maximum distance and
So,
control.
marketing-wise, the only thing left for these ball manufacturers to do was to start marketing compression, to actually start scientifically informing us through their advertisements what does it mean. And now we're seeing compression numbers that have been unheard of, absolutely unthought of in the past. I bring case in point. You got the new Chrome Soft Callaway ball that just came out 2 weeks ago. Selling off the racks. We can't keep them in. 52 compression. You've got the Super Soft that came out 6 months ago, Callaway. 35 compression. Now you got the Wilson Duo coming out, 29 compression. What's next?
Marshmallows.
Yeah. I mean, do we just take a golf ball, put it on the end of a stick, and hold it over the fire and eat it with a graham cracker and some chocolate?
They go
I like
any
chocolate.
softer, it's going to be that way. But yeah,
Ow.
But I mean, but you think about it, George. For
Have
the
a
seniors,
golf ball s'more,
Yeah.
okay?
But for senior
chocolate.
players and for women, I mean, that's the type of golf ball that they need to be playing because it will react to what they want. It gives them what they're looking for in their golf game, and then being able to hit a golf ball further and control it, spin it, stop it, that kind of thing.
A low compression ball, I've seen in definition, is related to your club energy, relates to the creates energy into the ball, which transfers to the ball, which give it more distance, more reaction. Now, lower compression balls also can create more spin.
Oh, definitely.
No, it does.
Okay, all right. So thusly, the pros, better players, they prefer the higher compression ball because it may not travel as far, but it doesn't have as much axial spin as the lower compression. Agreed?
Yeah.
Am I right there, Dr. Grind?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so a higher compression ball is not going to go as far, but it won't go as far. It won't go as far out of straight line.
No, that's not necessarily true.
Okay.
I remember back years ago when a lot of the companies were coming out with the titanium covers, and it was actually a harder ball, and that thing off of a driver was sick. I mean, it would definitely outperform a Balata.
Mm-hmm.
But when you get around the green, it did not have the feel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's, I mean, in a perfect world, I remember back guys kidding years ago, gee, I wished I could play two balls. One ball off the tee box.
Sure.
And then swap balls
Sure.
and then play a softer ball around the green.
Oh, I've
George
had-
still does, but
Yep.
what you're getting.
Wow.
What
I
you're,
didn't deserve that. I really didn't.
What you're
I'm
getting,
leading this damn conversation.
No,
okay?
you're trying, and we're kind of eliminating that fact. But here's the thing, and here's where you're correct in what you're saying. The softer ball spins more.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
For a golf ball to get into the air, what does it have to do?
It has to get compressed.
It has to spin. Okay. The faster, the harder you swing a golf club, the higher the compression you need because the less spin you need to create to get this ball to elevate.
Okay.
The softer balls are based for your women, your senior golfers, your average golfers, beginning golfers, juniors, because it allows them to create spin to create elevation.
Okay.
And elevation creates carry and distance.
Okay.
If you get a ball that's too hard, it nosedives because it doesn't spin.
Okay.
Just like having a shaft that's too stiff.
Okay.
People think, oh, the shaft's too stiff, so I'm going to slice it. No, it's not going to stay in the air, and you're more than likely going to hook it.
Right.
Shaft's too weak, the club lags, it's going to spin more, the ball's going higher, and it's going right.
Okay.
So there are things, if you look at it, it all kind of bases and comes together to where you've got to find the right combination.
So by what you're saying, the best I can take from that, and now correct me if I'm wrong, is you really need, depending on your club head speed, and does your angle of attack have anything to do with
I was just
it?
getting ready to say angle of attack.
It does.
Okay.
It's
Yep.
all about getting
got
fit.
it.
So individual swing aspects come into play. Club head speed, angle of attack determines really that's your deciding factors on what compression ball you need to use.
Exactly. And
Yes,
it's
sir.
like we talked about the other day, George. when it comes to these launch monitors and getting fit, and when you're on and the launch monitors, I honestly, as much as I complain about them sometimes, they are a necessity from the standpoint of the 4 things we talked about.
Right.
Club head speed,
Right.
ball speed, launch angle.
And we determined that.
And spin rate.
We distinguish that's perfect for analyzing your equipment.
Exactly.
And the ball is part of your equipment.
It's exactly
no doubt.
right. And
Big
that's
part.
where that becomes
Well,
essential.
I came all this, and Doc, you know me, I do a summary. And my summary was compression serves as a major factor improving your handicap. How about that?
The ball can make a tremendous amount of difference. Like if you go on and do a studying with Titleists, their ball fitting is done more or less around the green. They feel that you should have a ball that you can control and spin and like the feel of around the green, because that's where you're spending more time. That's where more number of shots are hit than off the tee box. So they place more.
But the higher handicap, is a ball compression really going to help that much around the green with a higher handicap?
It could, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
Are you
sir.
having to teach him how to hit it?
Well,
yeah, that's part of it. Is
Well, then
teaching
you're
them-
getting into a lesson. You're not getting into a ball fitting.
No,
Yep.
but you also can take that lesson and what they learn, and when they get to where they can be consistent with their contact, the height and the flight of the ball coming off of the wedge shot, now you can take it and do the ball
Okay.
stuff.
All right. Let's look at a marketing angle. Let's look at Callaway, the new Chrome Saw. They state that in their scientific analysis, that it's the perfect blend of compression and distance. Meaning, it's not so soft that, you're getting all the distance, but you're losing axial control. In other words, it creates all this side spin also too, goes out 100 yards out straight and then 150 to the right, okay? Plus, it gives you that touch and that feel and that control around the greens.
Right.
So it's just hard enough that it doesn't spin like crazy off the driver, but it is soft enough that give you the great feel around the greens.
Exactly.
That's their marketing.
And that's perfect. But you've also you got to be able to hit the shot to be able to understand and see the difference around the greens
And feel
the
that.
benefit that
And
it
feel
gives you.
that, yeah.
You can stand there and scull it all you want. The soft feel ain't gonna help you a lick.
No.
So it's all about getting everything together and knowing what fits you and what you need. And now all of a sudden, you've got your best opportunity to go play golf.
But see, you got like Bridgestone,
best
for
golf.
example. They've got several models.
Yes.
You've got Shrixon. They've got several models. Q Star, this star, that star. What's the compressions of those? I mean, on some of the boxes, you can read it on the back in the fine print, and it's there somewhere in one of those charts or graphs that shows a flight path, of our ball compared to other balls. That's all great. But it's boiling down to now that, first off, we know the balls are going to be round. That's a given.
Definitely.
Then you decide what color you want to play.
All right.
Then you decide really now what compression. And I venture to say somewhere over the next several years, we're just going to walk into a retail store or a pro shop, and there'll be a box that says 90, there'll be a box that says 80, there'll be a box that says 70, there'll be a box that says 60. And you just
Like
take
the
your
old
pick.
days, like the older days.
Yeah. You just take your pick.
No, I mean, it's obvious that's where it's got to go. I mean, that's
Yeah.
the marketing tool, and then with the people to help them with understanding the new technology, you're going to have to tell them this is what this ball is.
It's interesting, guys, and I'm an amateur. You guys are pros. On the flight scope, I'll take a softer ball, like the Super Soft or even the new Wilson Duo,
Yes, sir.
29 compression. I'll put it on the simulator floor, hit it with a 6-iron, and then I'll drag one of the high-end balls that are 80 compression or 90 compression or 95 compression, whatever. Tremendous difference in feel coming off that club face. I mean, years ago, you really didn't feel a difference.
Exactly.
Agreed?
Exactly.
No, but
Well, you did, but I
understand.
didn't. As an
understand.
amateur,
Yeah.
I didn't have that much feel in my hands, especially with the clubs.
Right.
I didn't have that much feel. But now, it's night and day. I could take all the nomenclature off the balls, all the names, all the words. I could take all that off a ball and put these two different compression balls down. And any amateur walking in that door, I guarantee you, will tell me which one's the softest and which one's the harder one.
Well, you know what made me the most nervous, George, was when being able to go to Bridgestone and do ball testing.
Uh-huh.
You know, getting ready
And
for
I've
a
done
year.
that, yeah.
And there is not a name, there's not anything on there but just
It's
little
just white
stars
pigment.
or numbers
Yeah,
or whatever
yeah.
to tell them which, and they know what it is on the computer, and you hit.
Yeah.
And you tell them the one you like. And it always made me nervous. Am I going to pick the one that's, you know,
The new one or the old
the
one?
40 compression
Yeah.
ball? You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
You
yeah.
never knew.
Which one am I picking?
Because you would hit them and you'd like them, and it was
Yeah,
nuts.
yeah.
And it made you nervous.
And interestingly, I would imagine that you probably lean toward what ball felt more consistent, like the one you've played with for years.
Something that had a little more click to it.
Yeah, it's amazing how many people will come into like the place I work at, CPC, and they go, "Well, I got to have this ball. I want this ball." Well, have you tried these or these or these? No. These are the most consistent balls coming off the manufacturer line. I don't have to worry about them being out of round. Ooh, really? I don't have to worry about the color being different. I don't have to worry about the dimples. Really? You've studied the dimples that close? And this is a 20 handicapper.
And somebody's just been reading too many magazines.
No, he just wants to pay. He knows he walks in and that box is $50. That's the best ball. I want that one. Am I right?
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
I mean, I all day long, I'm a retailer. I'll go take that $12 box and I'll put 50 on it all day long. That becomes the new best ball right there.
Y'all know where not to buy your balls.
Oh, damn it. Come on.
I love it.
You see my point?
Oh, yeah.
It blows my mind.
Appearance.
I love the fact, and I told you this the other day, I love the fact that the club manufacturers are having to come out now and prove their science. So are the balls. This is why we make ours this way. This is why we make ours this way. This is compression that we make ours. This is the reason why. These are the options we're giving you. Okay? It's great. I mean, number one ball on the PGA Tour. Fantastic. That's all great. I won't even say who it is. Everybody knows automatically.
Yep.
Man, my daughter knows. She's 3.5. Okay? You think it's funny.
Oh, you're right.
She won't play with any balls but those. Okay?
I got a dog that'll only chew those kind of balls.
That's right. That's right. You love me when I get in these rants and raves, don't you?
Yeah.
But the issue here, guys, is the beautiful thing about our day, our current day in golf is now with the internet and all the other things that are available to us, like thegolfdirector.com, we can educate ourselves and find that best piece of equipment for our game at this current time.
Yeah, the options out there are just tremendous. And explore them.
Wintertime. Dr.
Yes, sir.
Grind, should I use a lower compression ball in the wintertime?
Definitely.
Okay.
I feel so. I feel that there is a difference.
Okay.
You know, so
No doubt about it. You get more distance. You compress the ball more. It's going to react more. You get that trampoline effect off the club. I don't care what your swing speed is. You're going to pick up some ball speed coming off the face.
and you
No
gotta
doubt about it.
keep in mind, when it gets cold, you have contraction and firmness from cold. So if you take a ball that's say a 95 compression at say 75, 80 degrees, all of a sudden you take that ball and you put it in a 40-degree atmosphere, the compression's going to change.
Jeff, how we doing on time? Am I okay? All right, super. We got into this a couple weeks ago. Warming your balls up in your pocket.
Yep.
Didn't we?
Yeah.
We didn't we? We
And
got
I
into an
didn't-
argument about that.
You start them out. You start out in your hotel room. You put them in hot water.
Okay, I got that.
Then when you take them out of the hot water, you put them
And I
into
told you,
something that
every morning I
has-
put my balls in hot water. Every morning I do that.
And then you have your hot hands, and you know that you have in your mittens,
Which is
or
illegal.
whatever.
Illegal.
You cannot put the ball in the pocket with that, but you can have the balls in there so that when you put them in your golf bag, they are at their optimum temperature and
Okay.
they will not
Okay.
get cold as fast.
Okay.
Now you
And we
can
should do that with 29 compression balls, 50 compression balls, or 80 or 90.
have every one of them.
Every one of them.
Every one of them.
Good.
Because I mean, and that's why you see all the rules and stuff. I mean, you can have on these big mittens. Like I've still got my ping mittens.
Right.
You know.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah.
put my hot hands in there, and they've got the fuzz in there, and it's
Oh,
nice
yeah.
and warm.
Yeah.
Don't go putting your ball in there with your hand before you go to hit, because if you get caught, adios, you're cheating, and they're gonna nail you.
Good. Good. Now, in the warmer months, do I change golf balls? Do I go to a different compression?
Depends. See how the ball reacts in warmer temperatures. You may never know. It may perform better in warmer temperatures.
But one would assume that in warmer temperatures
You
that
go to a higher compression.
versus winter, yes.
Okay. Also, people should get a realistic viewpoint, and this goes back to fitting, a realistic viewpoint of what their club head speed is and what their ball speed is.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
Because
check your ego at the door.
there you
That's-
go.
Yep.
There you go. I can't tell you the hundreds of people that I have had the fortunate opportunity of observing their swings with flight scope, G2s, swing aids, all the other things that are out there. Okay? And you asked them, what is your 7-iron club head speed? And the first answer they give you is what they think their driver's club head speed is.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay? And then you go to prove them that they're 30 miles per hour slower with a 7-iron.
Yeah.
Agreed?
Yeah.
Okay. Then you asked them, you've already asked them because they've already given you the answer, the driver speed, and then you go to prove to them that their driver speed is actuality 15 to 20 miles per hour slower than what they think it is. What they think it is.
Well, it's no different. The other day we tested mine, you know, to send, you know, my driver back to Nike to get him to rebuild, you know, to build a new one. And, you know, I haven't played much, and it's winter, you know, it's February. So, I mean, you know, you're a little tighter and I'm not in shape and whatever else.
Yeah.
So my club head speed popped up, you know, and it was right around 100.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Right.
I know if I'm playing golf and it's springtime, summertime, and I've been playing and practicing, my club head speed's going to be around 108. I mean,
Yeah.
It always has been.
I've seen yours at 105.
Yeah. I mean, that's just where it's at.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that loss of that little bit has to do with more clothes on, you know, tighter
Oh, yeah.
muscles, less activity, whatever.
Yep.
You
No
know,
stretching. Yep.
People got to take that into consideration. I mean, golf is it's a physical game. You know, you're relying on your big muscles in your body. So, you know, you're talking about, you know, is this ball? It's great in the wintertime. Is it going to be any? Well, you won't know until you try it.
And the reason I bring up, Hugh, the club head speed is the marketing angles by these golf ball manufacturers. If you have this club head speed, you need to play this ball. Okay? Well, is that a driver? I didn't say if you have this driver speed. I said if you have this club head speed, do you need to play this ball? Well, the manufacturers are basing that off of driver. Is that right?
Correct.
You would assume.
Okay. A great answer. You would assume.
Yes, sir.
Okay. But where am I I'm looking at, is this ball going to make my 7-iron? Is it going to go, I hit it 125 yards, but with this new ball, I can hit it 135? And that's where it's most important to these people. Are they going to see 10 more yards with the driver? Sure. That's great. But where they really need the improvement is in that middle range from that fairway or that rough area, and to carry that bunker in front of the green and to get it on the green and then to get it set soft like a butterfly with sore feet and then have a good feel to it when they putt it. Do you agree?
Oh, no doubt.
Total game.
Well, if it's going further off the driver, it's going to go off the iron. I mean, it's going to go further off
Good.
the iron.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all relative.
Yeah, and
What you just brought up was around the greens and the putting and the feel of it. That's important.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have feel with your putter and being able, how do you control your speed and how do you know what line to play?
Exactly.
So
Good. Well, I kind of ran with this. I apologize, Doc.
Oh, no, it was a great show. I loved it, man. It was awesome.
It's just there's so much confusion right now. I mean, Hugh and I have talked about this late at night while we're watching the dogs get their butt kicked by somebody, and you hear 90 compression, which is really 85, or you hear 85, which is really 78, and how does all this relate? And do I need a driver with no grooves on it, or does it need to have a flat face? Mm-hmm. Do I get more distance out of that? There are so many technical questions that come into this, and that's why Tech Talk with Al Cloyd is so informative. But the compression on these golf balls now is getting a little crazy.
Yep, it's going to be interesting. I mean, you've got these guys, they're as passionate about these golf balls as we are about, as I am as equipment, and as Hugh is about teaching, and as you are about commentating. We all, are so passionate, and these guys are going to keep pushing the limits, and we're going to see new balls constantly. And from what I understand, a lot of the main manufacturers already have 5 years to 7 years of golf ball technology already there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the stuff that's out there, it's there, but we're not going to see it for another 2 or 3 years.
And
that's how ahead they stay.
We have this is for our viewers and our listeners, okay? I'll throw this out there. And if somebody wants to get ticked off and write in or whatever, that's fine. We have heard the number one ball in golf, the PGA Tour leader of balls. Mm-hmm. We have heard them tell us.
Yes, sir.
They don't care if they sell a golf club. They make so much money off the golf ball, they don't need to sell a club.
That's correct.
That is the size of this market. And
it's huge.
It's the number one consumable in the game, folks. Yep. You go through a sleeve and a half a round. Yep. Guess what? You got to go put new bullets in the gun.
Oh, no doubt. You can't shoot with no bullets.
Yeah. That's why. That's
for sure.
It's good to see, because we're also seeing the price points come down. We're seeing the economy of scale in the balls come down. Yeah. We've seen several manufacturers come out with the low end ball, and for the high handicappers, that's great. It cuts down their economy of scale. So that's fantastic.
The beauty of it, though, George, is the fact, they come down with the lower market ball, lower price ball, but it's based off the same technology.
That's right.
Oh, no doubt.
That's the beauty of it. It's all.
That's right.
It's not like they're bringing you some cheap thing. Okay, this is cheaper, so here you go. Yeah. It's still based off that.
It's not flying half the distance. It's not immediately going right off the tee box and hitting your girlfriend in the golf cart.
Yeah.
It's going to go just as far, probably with your club head speed, as anything else out there.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay.
And just one little thing from earlier, the difference in club head speed between a driver and an irons for the average person is exactly 10 miles an hour. So if they're generating 100 mile an hour with an iron, usually or 100 mile an hour with a wood, it's 90 miles an hour with an iron to 85 miles per hour. So there's a 10 to a 15 mile an hour discrepancy between drivers and irons.
Okay.
On average.
Okay, on average.
Yes, sir.
On average. All right, guys, good show. Thank you. Well, appreciate you humoring me today.
I just enjoyed sitting
I had a great time.
To all the BS been thrown out there.
BS! I'm going to back this up, dude. You watch.
It's on like Donkey Kong.
It's on like Donkey Kong. TGD Radio and TV are produced and broadcast by the Zeus Radio Network for thegolfdirector.com. When visiting The Golf Director, please be sure to navigate over to our featured course pages, where you'll find up-to-date information about course conditions, specials, and much more. Hey, if you're coming to Grand Strand, you're going to come on golf and vacation, give Dave a call at 844-GO-GOLF-1. That's 844-464-6531. All of our TGD programming is archived for listening and viewing on demand. To catch up on any show you may have missed, click on the radio or TGD TV tabs in the menu screen at thegolfdirector.com. For Dr. Grind, Al Cloyd, for HR3, Hugh Roy III, and, of course, George Honeycutt, the Godfather, we want to thank Jeff behind the glass, and we want to thank you for tuning in here on TGD TV, TGD Radio. There's more golf news and information coming up next.